Behind the Law with Justin Clark and Allie Mack on ESPN 580 Orlando.
And welcome to the program. It's another edition of Behind the Law right here on ESPN 580 Orlando. Justin Clark joining us. We do every single weeknight at 8 o'clock p.m. on our favorite sports radio station. We follow Nicky Football and the boys at Live, Local, Loud. Great show tonight. 321-282-1055. I'm also a lawyer here in town, so of course if you have any legal questions whatsoever, I want you to go to my website. Feel free to ask me anything. youhavepower.com. www.youhavepower.com. Also, you can watch this program every single weekday about 4 o'clock. Follow at Behind the Law Radio on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, any social media platform. You can interact with us right there. We're going to do the news today. We'll also play Stump the Clarkie in the second half hour. And finally, throughout the show, we'll have a great interview with Cyndi Shifrel of Orlando Wedding and Party Rentals. Look, guys, I know you're going to kill me for this. My audience is like 80% male. And I'm going to have a wedding person on here, you say? You're like, what are you doing to me, Clark? But she's great. You're going to like her. She's going to give us some tidbits on. It's not just wedding stuff. It's party rentals, the bouncy houses and things. We're going to talk about bouncy houses flying away because that's my worst nightmare. It's going to a birthday. No, not only going to a birthday party, but having a birthday party for your kid. All of a sudden a storm comes through and the bouncy house goes flying away. So we'll ask about, does that really happen or not? Because I've definitely seen some news articles about that. And also, don't forget to watch the TV shows this weekend and every weekend. Saturday afternoon at 12:30 p.m. over on CBS. It is You Have Real Estate with me, attorney Justin Clark. And Sunday mornings, TV 27 at 10 a.m. It is this show, Behind the Law, but it's Behind the Law on television. Record them if you're not going to be home. A lot of good information coming up this week for both of those shows. We've got two Briannas in the house today, of course. We have Brianna OG. Brianna, did we ever figure out what we're calling you or what?
We haven't. Man.
Are you going to welcome me back, by the way? I haven't been here in days, I feel like.
I missed you, Justin.
Yeah, right. You're so full of it.
What?
You didn't miss me. OG Brianna is here. She's still training new Brianna. Hi, new Brianna. How are you?
I am great. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. So what are you going to do, OG Brianna, because I imagine that new Brianna is going to take over your production role very soon. Are you going to just abandon the show altogether? Are you going to make special appearances? What's your plan?
You know what? I think we just going to have to sit down and talk about this. I'm not sure, but I enjoy being on this side of the table.
So you really have no plan?
I don't.
Just got back from Panama. Not Panama City, before you asked. Not Panama City, in the Panhandle. Yeah. Everyone I told that I was going to Panama, they were like, oh, really? You're going to go to Destin, too? Like, no, I'm going to the country, bro. Panama's a great country. Have you ever been?
Once.
On a mission trip. Let me guess. Was it?
What's wrong with that?
No, because you do a lot of mission trips. You do a lot of work for the community.
I was there to party. Oh. With my missionary family.
It was a good time. Great restaurants.
Did you catch fish?
We actually didn't. They were the two guys, or two of my best friends I went with, are shrewd negotiators. Let's say.
Okay.
And the fishing, they wanted like $2,100. They're like, we're not going.
Oh.
So but we had a driver the whole time and everything, so it was good. Except the driver took us because we said we wanted to go to the beach, so we had to drive an hour and a half to one of these all-inclusive. We thought we were going to a beach club. You know what I mean? These beach clubs in these countries like Panama. Instead, we got dropped off at this all-inclusive resort, shady all-inclusive resort.
I'm like a Westin or?
So, it was you pay $70 or whatever for the day. And if you've ever been to an all-inclusive resort, you know what I'm talking about. And then they have the little buffet thing with the really cold fries and the really weird-looking hamburgers. You know what I mean? It was one of those places. I was like, look, I don't even go I would never go stay at one of these places. I'm definitely not going to go hang out for the day.
Just for the day.
But my guys who I went with are, again, the negotiating type. They actually demanded a refund when we left, so we actually got our money back.
You got all your money back.
Yeah.
So you got
that wasn't so bad.
A free crappy day.
But yeah, just a lot of good restaurants. Saw the Panama Canal, that sort of thing. It was a good time.
Sounds like
it was good to get away for a minute. I do miss the kids when I go, and I miss Pilar when I go.
Of course.
So before I went, we did a show, and I said, "Oh, I miss my kids." And as soon as I took Pilar and the kids to dinner that night, and she had a frowny face on. I was like, "What did I do?" And then Sophia, my kid, in the back said, "Daddy, we listened twice. You only said you were going to miss us. You didn't say anything about mommy." I was like, "Oh, crap." This is the problem with doing radio.
It kind of is, and it's really funny that you should say that because when you said that, I thought, what
You
about
really
Pilar
did?
in
Oh,
my
yeah.
head? But I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want to make a big deal because I knew she was watching. But
321-282-1055. It's Behind the Law, ESPN 580 Orlando. My name is Justin Clark. Also watch the show at Behind the Law Radio. New Brianna, what's in the news? Any news today?
Okay, what is going on around the world? So this story is comical. Cops in Florida found a woman with a baby alligator hidden in her yoga pants when they pulled her over.
that's
What?
true.
Can you believe that?
Yeah, I just need to know why. I mean, is there any why or anything? Do we find
Well-
out why? Other than she's on drugs, obviously.
Clearly.
Well, I guess they were doing it for a hobby. Her and her male passenger were collecting frogs and snakes from an underpass. And then they just pulled the lady over, and then she pulled out the alligator from her yoga pants.
Disgusting.
that's
Bizarre.
I run from alligators. You know, I certainly don't put them in my pants.
She's housing them.
Ugh, that's
Nasty.
gross.
Ugh. Whatever.
What else is going on?
Uber and Lyft drivers are protesting today across the U.S. The protests are due to declining wages. Meanwhile, the companies are raking in billions of dollars from investors.
Huh. So they're upset.
They're upset that they're not making enough money.
You mean they're like Lyft and Uber is taking a higher percentage of the fare? Is that what's happening?
That's correct.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, I have heard that. I've heard some Lyft and Uber drivers complaining about this.
Hear that they, some people also don't tip their Lyft and Uber drivers. Justin, want to talk about that?
I mean, they need
Well,
livable
here's
wages.
the problem with tipping Uber. I thought the whole point was you don't tip. I didn't know that you tip.
Whose idea? They're providing a service.
Okay, well, it just seemed like you didn't tip. I'm learning.
It seems like you didn't.
I'm a good tipper, man. It just, look, I guarantee you someone listening right now has felt like I do that, part of the cool part of Uber is like you don't have to get cash at all. It just takes it off your credit card and you're done. I didn't realize you have to go back later and remember to leave a tip. How do you remember to do that?
They have push notifications now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now I tip, but it might be 3 weeks later because I don't see it until I go back on Uber, on the Uber app, and when I
guess
need
it's also
Uber
okay.
again.
As long as you tip, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter
Yeah.
when you do it.
I got to get better at that. I
That's
agree.
all right.
We order a lot of Uber Eats in my house. A lot. Speaking of getting notifications, like while I was away, I mean, it was like Uber Eats for breakfast, lunch, dinner, a late night snack in my house. But you can't say anything, because you're away with
Right.
your friends, so you can't really say anything. But I was like, damn,
Like, y'all are racking up a
you
tab
guys eat
down
a
there.
lot of Uber. And then it's also DoorDash, too. Do you know that
DoorDash.
one?
Yeah.
I heard of that, DoorDash.
It's DoorDash. I'm a Postmates girl myself, but
I don't know what that is. Food delivery, I guess.
it's also food delivery, yeah. Some West Coast thing.
Oh, wow. Oh, she's so cool. California cool.
Whatever. I tip
You're not
them.
even from the West Coast,
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
but you've been there on a religious trip.
No, it was actually, they were here before Uber Eats was a thing.
Oh.
So that was like one of the first food delivery options available. And then Uber Eats came and they tried to dominate the market. But by then I'm like, I like Postmates. Might as well
Okay.
stay.
Anything else going on in the news?
Sports news. So many people are wondering where Kyrie Irving will land. They believe he's going to the Nets. What do you think, Justin?
Well,
I know you're a Boston fan.
Yeah, of course. I think he needs to start playing, number one. He had a great game one, and then he's absolutely laid an egg ever since. I mean, they're just getting destroyed. I have no idea where he's going to go. I don't know. He's sort of, let's call free-spirited, if you will.
He is.
One of these earth is flat kind of dudes, you know?
Man, oh man.
It's true.
Crazy.
It really is.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Or now he's going back saying he was joking, but he didn't seem like he was joking when he claimed that the Earth was flat.
Ooh.
I was like, you know how many times we've been to space, man? I mean, they literally take pictures from space, and you
Yeah.
can kind of tell it's not flat. I mean,
a little curve there.
yeah. I mean, it doesn't take
little curvature.
it doesn't take a scientist to realize that there's some curvature in the Earth.
Just a little bit.
I could be wrong. Anyway, who knows? Anything else going on in the news today?
Well, royal baby news.
Oh god.
Prince Harry and Meghan Markle introduced their baby today. and they named their baby Archie Harrison Mountbatten Windsor. What do you guys think about that?
I think that I do not care, but I wish the baby so much health and
Absolutely.
prosperity, which is not gonna have to worry about the prosperity part of that whatsoever.
absolutely not.
Thank you very much. Great show ahead. We're gonna come right back with Cyndi Shifrel with Orlando Wedding and Party Rentals. All right, on the other side of this break, it is Behind the Law, ESPN 580 Orlando.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, there wasn't an official.
Yeah,
news
there was
intro.
no
What?
break.
Our bad.
Because there was no news intro, so you...
I know. Well, yeah.
Yeah, we get it. We get it. We've just been practicing a certain way.
Shifrel. I thought you said Chivrel. I actually put a V.
You did throw a V right in her name.
Huh?
You threw a V right in her name.
Well, because I thought. No, see, I have it spelled with an F, but then when you said it, I thought you had a V. I thought it was pronounced with a V. So I even did a. Okay. I got it now. Shifrel. Yeah, that's what I thought initially, and then I changed it. Ready? 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 Okay.
Now back to Behind the Law with Justin Clark, right here on ESPN 580 Orlando.
Welcome back to the program. It's Behind the Law, ESPN 580 Orlando, joined today by a very special guest, Cyndi Shifrel. She is with Orlando Wedding and Party Rentals. Welcome to the show. How are you, Cyndi?
I'm doing awesome.
Thanks for being here. So let me ask you a question right out of the gate. When you say wedding and party rentals, what does that mean exactly? Is this, you're not a wedding planner, you're really renting things for weddings and parties and things like that, right?
Correct.
Okay.
We are not wedding planners, but we are the suppliers of the rental items that you would need for your wedding, your event, whatever type of party you're planning. We can provide the rentals.
Birthday
for you.
parties?
Birthday parties.
Okay, so look, we got to talk about it. We talked about it in the open a little bit. These bouncy houses. I mean, I don't know. This could be fake viral videos for all I know, but I've definitely seen them like fly around in a storm or something. Does that ever happen, or am I just seeing stupid videos?
No, it definitely happens. We
Really?
don't rent out bouncy houses anymore.
Good.
But we used to, and we used to hear the stories, and it was something I was always worried about with this Florida weather.
Yeah.
It's just so unpredictable, and it has happened here in Florida. Years ago when we were doing this, we had a big water slide in someone's backyard. And on the weekend, I got a call, and the client called me and said, just looked in the backyard, and your water slide is gone. I'm like, wait, what do you mean the water slide's gone? It's like,
Yeah.
it's gone.
Like,
the kids were
gone?
on it, and they came inside because there was some bad rain that was headed. We look in the backyard, and it's gone. So we went back there the next day after the storm, and it had been carried into the woods, into snake-infested woods at that. And a twister had a small little something or other, had picked it up, and they get staked into the ground, they get secured, so they shouldn't go anywhere. But you just never know. So we don't rent those out anymore.
What is a typical, when someone's having a birthday party, what's sort of typical rentals that they have for their children's birthday party? Give me some ideas. We don't do bouncy houses anymore, I know, but what else do they use?
So like what we would rent to them, or what a birthday?
Yeah. What would you rent to them?
Tables, chairs. We have tents. We also rent out cotton candy, popcorn, and snow cone machines. Right? It's
Yeah.
fun. Something for the adults as well. And then we have carnival games like football throws and tic-tac-toe tosses and pool games and ping pong stuff. Yeah.
We hear about bridezillas, people who are getting married and who are going a little bit Looney Tunes trying to plan a wedding. But do you ever see kid birthday party planner zilla? Parents going nuts, like, come on, man, it's just a birthday party. You ever see that?
It happens every now and then, but it's very few and far between. It's definitely more of the bridezilla or even the groomzilla at that.
Ooh, groomzilla.
I would be like absentee groom, basically. I would be like, it's all you. It's whatever you want to do. You would never have to worry about me being groomzilla. At what point do you think we're overdoing it for a kid's birthday? I mean, have you ever walked in and be like, this is just like absurd. This is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, they do like a massive tent and really nice chairs. We have really nice chairs that we rent out, and they'll spend a lot of money on chairs and tables and, pony rides and elephants and
Elephants.
Yeah.
Oh, let's have a carnival in the backyard. Why not?
You're right. A whole zoo. Let's bring the zoo to our
Wow.
backyard. So
I've always kind of wondered on cost, and I know we don't do the bouncy house, but I think that's what we all have a vision at the kid's birthday party, seeing that bouncy house there. What's a general cost of when you were doing bouncy houses? What would it cost to rent it for the day?
So this is back in the day. We're talking like 10, 11 years ago.
Yeah.
Depends on the bounce house. You just get a regular bounce house, you're looking at $100, $110 plus tax. You're looking for a water slide or an obstacle course. It could be $200 to $300, but a lot of times they don't stop with just one inflatable. They want like 4 or 5 of them, and then that's where the cost comes in.
Got it. What's your bread and butter every day in everyday life? What do you guys really rent the most of?
Say tables and chairs.
Gotcha. So, we've all been to these conventions or charity events or whatever where you have the round table with 8 chairs around, or a wedding, and you've got 20 or 30 of those. I mean, what is it like? What does one table and chairs normally cost to rent?
Depends just on what kind of chairs you want. Do you want top of the line chairs?
Let's say like a little below top of the line.
Oh, so you're going cheap here for
Look,
for your event, huh?
I've been called that before at my house.
So like middle of the road. How many guests are we talking about, Justin?
I think we're going to have about 150.
150.
Yeah.
Wow, this is a pretty big party. Probably, your basic chair, like $3 a chair.
Okay.
Basic table, like $10, and then there's a delivery fee on top of that.
Got it. So the delivery fee, is it per chair or is it per event? How do you determine that?
It's where we're going.
Okay.
If you live in St. Augustine, you're gonna, have to pay a higher delivery fee than if you're right here in Maitland, where you guys are at.
It's Behind the Law, ESPN 580 Orlando. Attorney Justin Clark here talking to Cyndi Shifrel. She is with Orlando Wedding and Party Rentals. How do I reach out?
You can reach me by my website, orlandoweddingandpartyrentals.com. You can give us a call at 407-739-5740. And you can also reach out to us by social media on Instagram and Facebook.
So we've all been to events or construction sites or whatever and seen porta potties, right? We're all scared to go in there. We're like, I'll just hold it and go to the 7-Eleven down the street or whatever. But we've also been to these nice sort of sporting events or golf tournaments, and they have the big, almost like an RV porta potty, so to speak. I noticed you also own a company called Central Florida Luxury Restroom Rentals. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so we got into that 2 years ago. Our very first one that we bought was a 4-station restroom trailer, and it is not a porta potty. I cringe when I hear people calling it porta potty because
And I
it is
wasn't. I
anything
really
but.
wasn't.
No, but people, that's what they call it.
Yeah.
So we our job is to educate them. They're beautiful, granite countertops. It's got AM, FM radio, just beautiful. We can decorate it for your wedding with wedding decor, or we can do it for a corporate event, which is where we were at this weekend with both of our restrooms at a corporate event. So it didn't have any Mr. and Mrs. or any love stuff in there, but they're beautiful, very,
Right.
very nice. And
How often do you find yourself renting that out?
I'd say we do a couple of them per week.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And how do you move them around? I mean, do you have just a big truck has to move them, or how do you move them?
It goes on the back of our trailer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How do you get it up on the trailer?
Well, I mean, we haul it. I'm sorry.
Okay.
It's on a trailer, and we haul it with our pickup truck.
Gotcha.
Sorry, wasn't very clear there. Justin.
No, look. It's just it's radio. I just want to make sure I have a good idea of what's really going on. So, how many times have you seen a wedding outdoors in Florida that's sort of not covered? I mean, rain has a real effect on some of these events outside, does it not? I mean, what do people do in that situation?
Well, if they wait until Thursday or Friday before their wedding or event on the weekend, and they're calling us, most times it's too late. We can't do anything for them. We always tell our clients to make sure if you're having an outdoor event in Florida, there's always a possibility that it's going to rain. You have to have that plan B. You have to have that backup plan.
Right.
And so we have those tents for a backup plan, and we do a small non-refundable deposit towards their tent. So if you want a tent and on reserve, you just pay a small deposit towards that, and then if you end up needing it a couple days prior, you let us know, and then you just pay the remainder
I
of what's
see.
due on the tent. And if you don't need it, then you're just out that small deposit.
Oh, that's pretty smart. I didn't know you could do. I thought you had to be all in or all out. So it's really a backup plan.
It's awesome.
It's almost like
backup plan.
It's almost like them paying for insurance to not get wet. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Beautiful. I like that a lot. So, being the provider of equipment for the wedding, so to speak, for the furniture, for that sort of thing, you're not the one obviously dealing with Bridezilla and doing the cakes and the food and that sort of thing. But are you normally dealing directly with the husband and wife, or are you dealing with the party planner typically?
Good question. So I'd say 50-50. We deal with a lot of vendors that come to us, wedding planners and florists and caterers that will come to us directly and book it for their client. But then we also deal with the mothers of the bride, mothers of the groom, or the bride and the groom themselves that will contact us directly. Or if it's a corporate event, which we do a lot of corporate events, the company will reach out to us directly.
Gotcha. So when you are working a wedding, what percentage of the time would you say that, and we all have tough customers. I have tough clients. You know, Brianna has tough clients. We all have tough customers. There's no doubt about it. But what percentage of brides or grooms, whatever, it's fine, are like, you're like shaking your head like, I can't reason with them. I mean, what percentage of the time does that really happen? I imagine it's probably lower than I'm making it out the same.
It totally is. I'd say less than 5% of them.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
So
it's a very small percentage.
All right, that's what I thought. I wanted to make sure you knew I wasn't accusing all people getting married of going nuts, because I don't think that's really how it is.
Did your wife do that?
No.
Okay.
We'll talk about that in a minute. It's Behind the Law, ESPN 580 Orlando. We're going to play Stump the Clarkie and talk more about how to supply your next party. All right, on the other side of this very quick break. Behind the Law, ESPN 580 Orlando. Okay. Now we're going to play a little game.
Okay. Is it going okay so far?
You're doing great.
Okay.
We're going to play a little game. There will be a category you know something about, probably, and I know nothing about. Brianna likes to see me lose.
Which one?
What?
Which one?
Both of them. Probably.
Whispering likes to see you.
So my husband was in radio for a long time, over here for 540 and 740.
Oh, yeah? Mm-hmm. Nice. All right. You ready?
Yes.
Now back to Behind the Law with Justin Clark, right here on ESPN 580 Orlando.
Welcome back to the show. Justin Clark with you on ESPN 580 Orlando. We follow live, local, loud Nicky football every single weeknight at 8 o'clock p.m. You can also watch the show. Follow us on social media at Behind the Law Radio, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, any social media platform. Also, watch the TV shows this weekend at You Have Real Estate with me, attorney Justin Clark, 12:30 p.m. on CBS WKMG. Also, Sunday mornings, it's Behind the Law on TV. 10 o'clock a.m. on TV 27. If you have any questions for me whatsoever, any legal questions, 321-282-1055. The website, youhavepower.com. Joined today by a very special guest, Cyndi Shifrel. She is with Orlando Wedding and Party Rentals and Central Florida Luxury Restroom Rentals. I'm also joined today by OG Brianna. Hi, OG Brianna. How are you?
Hey, Justin.
And new Brianna, who's taking OG Brianna's job soon. Hello, new Brianna.
Hello.
I mean, it's unbelievable to me still. Every time I do go through this whole welcome to the show, Brianna and Brianna, that we literally replace Brianna with Brianna. And not only that, we replace Brianna with the Brianna who spells her name differently but pronounces it the same.
Doesn't help for radio.
I mean, it's unbelievable. But, if you want to check out the Briannas, see how they're doing, at Behind the Law Radio on any social media platform. But it's time to play a game. Cindy, don't be nervous, okay? This
right,
is a
I got
game we
this.
play every day. No reason to be nervous because OG Brianna likes to play stuff that you're going to know a lot about and I'm going to know nothing about because she likes to see me lose and you win my money. Are you ready to play?
I'm so ready.
Let's do it.
All right, and now it's time for Stop the Clarky. Come on, Clarky. We need you to get over here. We got some great trivia questions we want you to answer. Come on, Clarky. Get over here.
All right, OG Brianna, what is the... new Brianna. What is the category today?
Today's trivia is all about the party rental industry.
Hey, what did I tell you, Cindy? I just knew it.
Jeez. I had a hunch.
All right, well, let's play this game. What is question number 1?
What is the market value for the party rental industry in the United States?
The market value for the party rental... Don't use the words name and vain. You of all people.
You of all people.
You go on mission trips 27 times a year.
28?
28 times a year. You're going to come in here with this Jesus stuff. I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. Hey, I better write an answer.
Lightning strikes, you might want to... Man, that's a tough question.
It is. I bet it's a pretty high number, though.
Yeah.
Question number 2 for a Stump the Clarky tonight on ESPN 580 Orlando. Brianna.
How many people does the party rental industry employ each year?
I keep changing my answer on this one. All right, let's go to question number 3.
How many parties, events, and meetings are organized in the U.S. each year?
Whoa. I mean, Orlando alone must have 27 million, it seems. Is this the capital of, like, meetings and things here, Cindy? I mean, it's got to be close, right? Maybe
Yeah,
Vegas is
it's
number 1? I don't know.
It's the #1 destination wedding place in the world, and also #1 for weddings, even
Wow.
bigger than Vegas.
Really? What was the question again? I'm sorry. Brianna, new Brianna.
How many parties, events, and meetings are organized in the U.S. each year?
Jeez. Who knows? Who knows? I wonder if this includes like a 5-person coffee breakfast. Like I don't know. Anyway, I'll just put my answer down and shut up. I know this is your first day, new Brianna, running the trivia, so I'll try to take it easy on her.
First day.
Starting tomorrow, it's going to go back to my regular self.
Here we go.
All right, final question for a Wednesday night edition of Stump the Clarky here on Behind the Law on ESPN 580 Orlando. All right, new Brianna, question 4. This is it.
What are the top 2 expenses within the party rental industry? All right, you got them all written down? You ready to score this game? Let's do it. You're listening to Behind the Law on ESPN 580 Orlando. We're playing Stump the Clarky today with Cyndi Shifrel, Orlando wedding and party rentals. Question number 1. What did you have? What is the market value for the party rental industry in the United States?
Let's go with you. Go ahead. Did I cut you off?
No, you're fine.
Oh, well, okay. Let's go with our guest today, Cyndi. What did you say?
Oh my gosh.
What?
Okay, I said 10 billion.
10 billion might not be too far.
I don't know.
Might not be too far off. Let's go with OG Brianna.
I went a little bit lower. I said 500 million.
500 million, maybe not a terrible guess either. I'm kind of in the middle of you two with $2 billion. New Brianna, what is the right answer?
The answer is $5 billion.
Billion, you're right.
That goes to you, Justin.
I win that one.
You won.
Yeah.
Shocker. No one's surprised.
No.
I'm just kidding. All right, so it's 1-0-0. Yours truly pulls ahead after question number 1. Question 2.
How many people does the party rental industry employ each year?
OG Brianna, what did you say?
I said 5 million.
5 million. All right, I went with 1.2 million. Cyndi Shifrel, what do you have?
I went way high. I went with 30.
30 million. I don't know. You could be on to something there. What? New Brianna, what's the right answer?
The answer is 5 million.
5 million. What did you say? Were
okay.
you right on it? No.
I was right on it.
5 million, Brianna. OG Brianna gets 2, right? So you pull ahead now. It's 1 for Justin Clark. OG Brianna has 2.
I have 1.
Cyndi Shifrel. Huh? No, you get 2. You got it exactly right.
Oh, is that how that works?
Yeah. See, we just don't get them exactly right a lot. So
I was like, it always happens.
yeah, that's why you're not exactly sure how it works.
Wow, seriously.
So we can just go give you 1 if you want. I don't want to see you win.
No, I want to.
Yeah, I don't want you winning this game. Is this the first time you've ever played? Or
This
have you...
is.
Oh, wow. Okay. She's had so many
That's
people come
impressive.
through this show playing Stump the Clarky against me, always on the other side, knowing the answers. So it's her first time playing. But fine, you'll get 2 for that. 2, 1, 0, going into question number 3.
How many parties, events, and meetings are organized in the U.S. each year?
I would like to change my answer, but I won't because I think I'm low. I went with 1.4 million. It's got to be higher than that. Cyndi Shifrel, what do you have?
I think I went high. I said 10 million.
10 million again. All right. You went with 5 million?
No, I went higher.
Okay. What did you have?
I said 19 million.
19 million meetings and parties per year. New Brianna, what is the right answer?
18 million.
18 million. Yeah, so who's the winner
Wow.
OG Brianna.
there? OG Brianna takes it, and
Good girl.
you're going to win this game today. It seems in your first ever competition on Stump the
Brianna, you're
Clarky.
making me look bad here, okay?
Sorry, Cindy. We can share points.
So one final question. This is a hard one. This is not one of those multiple choice type questions. What was the question? Question 4.
What are the top 2 expenses within the party rental industry?
Back to you, Cyndi Shifrel. What did you say?
I said the ring and the dress.
The ring and the dress. OG Brianna.
Catering and venue.
Catering and venue. I went with food and furniture. What are the right answers?
Venue costs and catering.
Ooh.
OG.
Dude, there's no way in the world.
I just got married, so I actually knew that.
Wow.
So you knew to even say venue. You didn't say like location. You knew to say catering, not food. Something's up here.
Well, I've also worked in the events industry. But
Yeah, I just think it's funny that
works
you
as well.
you and New Brianna have been back here in the office together, planning this show for the last
course.
4 or 5 hours, and
We
you're
have
gonna
been
really
planning this show.
you're
in
going to
particular.
know you're gonna know venue and catering, and even use the right language when you use it.
Look, even when,
I'll give it to you.
even before, I
I
knew
just don't. I don't know. I don't know if I'm buying this at all.
You're gonna have to.
Yeah, New Brianna, I mean, she really wasn't cheating.
No, she was not.
Okay.
She was not.
Yeah. Look at him when you tell him. Look him in the eye.
Venue and catering. She didn't say food. Catering.
That's
It's basically
Cindy,
the
is
same
that not
thing.
the technical term?
Yeah.
That is the technical term.
Is it not called
Venue and
Oh,
catering.
Okay.
Any other? Do we have any other parts of that list? Like, what else is the most expensive? Probably not, right?
No.
What else? What else? Cindy,
Probably
is on that
floral.
list?
Floral
Floral's
would be
expensive.
Is very
pretty
expensive.
high. And the rentals, depending on what you're getting for rentals.
What about venue costs? Let's say, I know it varies on venue, but I mean, I'm trying to think of an example. Let's say I'm going to go rent, a pretty big room at the Waldorf Astoria. What is that going to cost me for the night?
Well, Justin, I'd love to tell you, but I don't work for the Waldorf Astoria.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
This guy.
Honestly, I don't know
Okay.
what they charge for their room space.
Gotcha. One more segment ahead. We're going to talk all things Orlando wedding and party rentals with its owner, Cyndi Shifrel, right on the other side of this break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on Behind the Law.
All right, well, I just look stupid there.
No.
Can we cut that out?
We can cut that out. we can cut that out. I promise we did not cheat, guys.
Where'd you have your wedding at?
I actually had it at Lake Eola,
Very nice.
which was super fun, really hot, and we got done. And 15 minutes later, it rained on someone else's wedding.
So we were just there this weekend, and
Were you there Sunday?
uh-huh.
Yeah, I feel like all hell broke loose on Sunday.
All hell broke loose.
Yeah,
It was
Yeah,
rough.
it was very
I wasn't here,
dangerous.
but I heard it was bad.
It was bad.
Yeah, I was like, how
it was
would
like a
you know?
hurricane.
Yeah, it was like a hurricane.
Yeah.
It was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. We were leaving church, and there was just like
was
stuff
scary.
everywhere. And there was we were driving down I-4, which is scary as in and of itself. But
Right.
there was so many people that you could tell either were tourists or just weren't experienced driving in that sort of rain. Who, some people just put their hazards on. They just pulled over. They just gave up. They were like, and there were like 30 cars, and you really couldn't tell if it was like 2 lanes or actually 4 lanes because people were just on both sides of the road. It was ridiculous. I mean, we were all driving 2 miles an hour anyway, so honestly, I wasn't ever gonna get into an accident. But that rain was kind of crazy. Yeah, kind of crazy.
All right, you ready?
All right.
Now back to Behind the Law with Justin Clark, right here on ESPN 580 Orlando.
One more segment ahead of Behind the Law, ESPN 580 Orlando. My name is Justin Clark. Thanks for spending your weeknights here on our favorite sports radio station. I have OG Brianna to my left, new Brianna to my right, and right in between them, it's our very special guest today, Cyndi Shifrel with Orlando Wedding and Party Rentals, and also Central Florida Luxury Restroom Rentals. Talk to me a little bit about Cyndi, about cancellations. Do you ever see weddings or parties get canceled?
Yeah, I mean, it happens, unfortunately, a decent amount of the time for various reasons.
Yeah, what are some of those reasons? That's what I'm interested in.
Well, I mean, you got to know the main reason is, right? What would you
Cold
say the main
feet.
reason is? Cool. I mean, yeah, the boyfriend broke it up, or the fiance broke it up,
Yeah.
or he was having an affair with somebody else, so I mean, we do see that happen from time to time. Doesn't happen as much as you think, but it does happen, and it's very emotional when they
I'd say
make that
so.
call.
So when someone breaks off a wedding like that, and you're having to deal with whether it's the groom or the wife, is it normally the parent that calls you? Is it them? Who normally drops the bad news to you?
I'd say 90% of the time it's the bride or the groom that's
Yeah.
calling us.
And what do they say? How does it go?
Typically the bride. I mean,
Yeah.
it happens more to the bride than it does to the groom.
And what do they say?
So, it's something they're just like, I'm sorry, we're having to call off the wedding. Sometimes they tell us the reason, and sometimes they don't. So it's.
And obviously, it's a very emotionally charged event, very sad event for them. But look, you're not renting all this stuff to someone else, and you've probably even delivered some of it. I mean, you still have to get paid. I mean, you must feel somewhat bad about it, but I mean, do they understand? Look, we got to get paid. We're not going to be able to refund you all your money, right?
Right. No, and we do it a case by case basis, depending on the situation. Sometimes there might have been a death in the family, or unfortunately, sometimes one of the bride or the groom might have gotten cancer and just got that diagnosis. So we do take it on a case by case basis, but we don't always give their money back.
One more time, how do we reach out to you? Let's say I am planning a party or a wedding or an event, and I want to reach out to you. How do I reach out to you, and how does that process really go from start to finish where you finally come out and give me a quote?
So the best way, I think, is to pick up the phone, give us a call in the office, and the girls in the office will get all your information down. We'll develop a quote for you and send that over to you. And you can look at it and decide if you want to go with our services. And after that, you'll put down a small deposit to secure your wedding date. Or you can just go right onto our website. It's very easy. If you don't want to talk to anybody and you want to put the items that you're interested in renting, we'll send you over a quote over that way as well.
That or just an emotionally charged thing, dealing with clients. I deal with consumers. You own a rental business. I mean, what are some of the stressful parts of your job, the most stressful parts? Your job and your business.
I'd say the most stressful part for everybody that owns a rental business, and maybe not even just rentals, any type of business, is employees.
Yeah.
That's one of the hardest, getting people to work and to want to work. So that's one of the hardest parts of what we do.
Let's say that you're providing a tent and tables and chairs for 150 guests coming to a wedding. I mean, you got to have several people out there doing this delivery, right? I mean, you must have several employees that are working on all these events.
Oh, yeah. We employ about 40 to 45
wow.
people.
Wow.
And depending on how big the event is, if it's an event like you're talking, like we're setting up a tent for 150 people with tables and chairs underneath of it, it could be 5 to 7 people setting up that event.
Got it. These tents, these big tents, people see these 10 by 10 tents at a little golf tournament or something.
Right.
I can put them up in 3 minutes. But these big tents that we're talking about, these are big, heavy things that take a long time to put up. I can't tell you exact sizes, but what sort of time does it really take to put one of these big tents up?
Again, it depends on how big the tent is. If it's a 20 by 40 tent, it could be up as a half an hour. If it's a bigger tent, it could take several hours to put it up.
Jeez.
And then it has a lot of times we're doing the lighting underneath of the tent too. So once we put up the tent, then we're having to string the lighting underneath, which takes a decent amount of time to do that as well.
What is and again, I don't know exact sizes, but I'm talking about a pretty big tent. I mean, what does it typically cost to rent? Or maybe you have a company that's like, well, maybe I should actually purchase that so we can use it for future times. I imagine the purchase price is pretty steep compared to the rental price, is it not?
Like a 40 by 40 tent.
So how much does a 40 by 40 tent cost to buy? So
Yeah.
I'm not
Or to
in
rent.
purchasing.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much. I'm not on the side that's renting it either. I'm dealing more with HR and payroll and stuff. So I'm
Got
not
it.
sure how much it costs, but it's definitely a lot cheaper for you to rent it from us than these people that think, do-it-yourselfers. Well, let's go out and buy it and we'll put it up ourselves.
That's crazy.
ESPN 580 Orlando. My name is Justin Clark. The name of the show is Behind the Law. If you have any questions for us, 321-282-1055. Also, watch the show on social media at Behind the Law Radio on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, any social media platform. You can interact with us right there as well. We're talking today with the owner of Orlando Wedding and Party Rental, Cyndi Shifrel. How in the world did you get into this business?
So 11 years ago, my husband was a DJ, and he still is. So he DJs a lot of weddings still. And he had some people come to him. We were doing the bouncy houses. We had just simple backyard tables and chairs that we'd rent out with our bounce houses. And he had wedding planners and venue coordinators that would come up to him and say, hey, have you thought about getting into some nicer chairs, that you could rent out? Because at the time, there wasn't really a good rental company that you could count on that had good customer service and a good quality product to deliver. So my husband's like, I think that I want to do this. So together we started this 11 years ago, him still doing the DJ thing. We were doing this on the side, and I was a piano teacher. So a couple years in, it got to be so busy that we decided that I'd have to quit teaching full-time to come on and work the business full-time. And it was then when I did that the business really took off for us.
Who's more important to the business, you or your husband? I'm just kidding.
Me, duh.
Don't even answer that. I know he's listening right now, but I don't want to do it. So when people think, especially people a little bit older in life, maybe you already have kids, maybe it's a second wedding, the term destination wedding comes to their head quite a bit. Those of us in Orlando, obviously Orlando's not a destination wedding place because, well, we live here, right? So we're thinking about going down to the island or something like that. But I can imagine that there are people from other parts of the country that think of Orlando as a place for a destination wedding. Is that right?
Oh, totally.
And when they do have a destination wedding here in Orlando, name some of the places they would have it at.
The number one place to have a destination wedding in Orlando is Disney, by far. And then just any of the hotels around Disney, the Four Seasons, Lake Nona area, pretty much anywhere in Orlando, the big hotels, that's where they're going. But Disney by far.
So when someone does something at Disney, I'm just guessing here that Disney sort of monopolizes everything and they do it all in-house, or do they ever have to hire you guys for anything?
So we actually work with Disney.
Oh, yeah?
We're one of their vendors.
Oh, cool.
And when a bride wants to get married at Disney, they do not reach out to us. They have to go through Disney to do it, and then Disney contracts us
gotcha.
out.
So they don't have it all in-house. And that's great that they're supporting the local economy like a small business like you.
Exactly.
I just assumed they did it all in-house. I mean, what did you guys think? Would you think Disney did everything there, or do you think they would subcontract it?
No, I'd imagine they did everything.
Yeah, me too.
They make all the magic happen right in house.
Unbelievable. What about hotels? Do hotels reach out to you also, or do they do everything in-house?
No, the hotels reach out to us as well.
Okay. See, I didn't know that. I like this a lot. This makes me feel better. What's sort of the easiest type of venue for you for ingress, egress, that sort of thing? What's sort of an easy venue for you? Hotels, Disney, a park?
They're all what you make of it. I mean, we can work anywhere. Someone's backyard, up on the rooftop of a building downtown. We do that. Any type of ballroom, a golf club. I mean, we work anywhere. So, it doesn't matter to us.
Yeah. One of the nicest things someone's ever said to you because you helped them throw such an amazing party or wedding when you thought, man, this is all kind of worth it.
Just thank you for taking the stress off of our, we had nothing to worry about on our wedding day. You guys came in and you saved the day. You did everything for us and you showed up on time. Your staff was super friendly, and we would get that all the time. That's why we've been successful, because of our great customer service and our response time.
God. Cyndi Shifrel, Orlando Wedding and Party Rentals. Phone number one more time.
407-739-5740.
Beautiful. Great job today. Thank you for being here.
Thank
you
you
can
for
come
having
back
me.
anytime. And I want a discount on my chairs, and I'm going to rent here soon. I'm just kidding. I don't have any parties coming up, and I would always pay full price. For OG Brianna, new Brianna, I don't know much, but I do know one little thing. I'll see you right back here tomorrow night on ESPN 580 Orlando.